Take 7. That's how many times I've recorded this, and it either the audio was messed up or I did something I wasn't supposed to do and it didn't get recorded correctly. Okay, so this is going to be a video for our newer players. We're going to start putting these videos. We've now got our own YouTube channel. Alright, you don't have to look for Glenn Condry videos anymore. Now we're going to have a YouTube channel called the.dynasty.reborn. At YouTube, look for the.dynasty.reborn. Okay? And that will have all our videos here. For our new players, like I'm That Guy and Mike Horner, we need you to start giving heal kits, buddy. We don't have to remove you. I hate losing teammates, but rules is rules. We want you giving heal kits whenever possible. What I'm going to talk about today is my version of the passing game. The new guys, you've seen this. I've used it against you, and I use it kind of as a recruiting tool. Guys, a lot of people are like, wow, that's pretty cool. You can do this at this level of the game. A lot of the people that you're going to run into on defense don't know how to cover guys on defense, don't know how to switch their defensive players around, so this is why this works. You'll notice here I've got wide receivers in the running back position. You could have running backs here. These guys are just the best trained. Okay. I have 2 passing offenses, one that lasts for 2 seconds. You can't do that once you get to level 20, 30, 40 when the guys know how to play defense. If you're running the guys who still play a basic 4-3, who don't blitz, run this all day long, please. Okay, so let's get into our passing plays. We're going to get to the plays that I've designed for this offense. This is called misdirection, and we'll get into that, why we call it that here just a little bit. But the first step in creating misdirection offense is the rhythm, which we've got set to 65. We got a passing speed of 100. You want to get the ball out of there fast. No passing risk. Make sure that your pass delay is set to 1, not set to auto, not set to 0. When you're running the ball, yes, you want that to 0, not auto. The quarterback will not get rid of the ball when you want him to if you've got it set to auto. The attack speed is set to 90. I don't kick on 4th down, and I go for 2-point conversions. Okay, so let's go through the formations that we have for this offense. I'll get into how I design the plays, what I'm thinking, why the play works, how it works, why it works. Alright, so we have our basic pro set formation. And for some reason my mouse isn't wanting to work. Okay. We're going to remove these blocking arrows for these guys because we don't know which way the play is going to go just yet. And we'll do our basic blocking for the offensive line. Say these guys, we're going to block him. Okay, now if you're playing a weak player, they've got a basic 4-3, they haven't switched anything around, you can run this all day. If they've got this stacked all the way up down the line with defensive players, you don't want to run this. They will eat your lunch, alright? Run the ball on them for a while. When their pass rush is gone, then you can run this. Okay, so the first play in our misdirection is going to go to the left. And well, we're trying to get this guy bent. Get him to go right over here. And the reason why I'm bending this arrow, I'm going to phooey. Didn't work quite. There we go. I have a tight arrow bend. The reason why is because if you do it like this, then the quarterback won't throw it out of bounds. I'll go ahead and do it to this guy too, because I have another play in another second or so coming up where we're going to go to this guy instead. Okay, for either side, you can go use this blocking set here. Now, going to the left to this running back, we're going to have this guy, and this is why I call it misdirection. Because you're going to go to you're telling this guy, we're bringing him down here. The wide receiver is going to follow this route. Cornerback is going to run down with him, thinking that maybe the play is going to go to this side. Instead, we're actually going to the side because now there's no defender here. He's going to go up, catch the ball, he's going to run it in. Either positive yards or he's going to score a touchdown. You can run this play to the other side as well. Just make sure he's going up. And now, in this play, actually a little better because you've got an extra blocker, the tight end. He's going up. He's going to be out of the way. This guy's going to catch the ball around here, sail either for positive yards or a touchdown. There's another play, and this isn't really, I guess it is. This is also a misdirection play. But I'll have these guys blocking this time. And if I can never get this arrow bent, come on now. Here we go. Well, there we go. Now, what this does, when you have him step back like that, is this guy's going to go up. This tight end, make sure it goes to the tight end. That was it. Come on now. There. Wide receiver goes up. Cornerback's going to follow him. This tight end takes a step back. Quarterback throws it to him. He either gets positive yards or he scores. You can also run this play. There's a very similar variation of this in the shotgun formation. We'll get to that in a second. These are the plays that I run for misdirection from this offense. Okay, and the pro set rather. Now we're going to go look at what we would do in the shotgun. Shotgun, I've got 3 plays. I could probably create more, but I'm just a little bit lazy. So I have this guy take a step back. You could feasibly you could use this player as well. In fact, it'd probably be a little better because occasionally when the quarterback throws this ball, he'll throw it out of bounds. Depends on how tired he is. This is a wide receiver screen. I am proud to say that, I've been playing this game since it started. I was the first person to invent the wide receiver screen. That was me. You're welcome. Alright, that's just one play. Alright, he's going to wait a second, throw it to him, runs off. This guy's downfield, and he's going to catch it, and hopefully this guy is following him. And he's going to get positive yards, or he's going to score, or the quarterback's going to throw it out of bounds. That's probably better if we try it with this guy. I haven't done it like that. I will to see if it works, and if it does, I'll tell you in a future video. Okay, so that's one play. Remember, I told you could run this other play, this screen to the tight end. Same formation. Well, this is this play from this formation. You have the tight end, the running back blocking. Tight end takes a step back. This guy's following the wide receiver up, catches the ball, either gains positive yards or scores. Wide receiver screen. Okay, and finally, there's a play to the running back. And the running back play would look something like this. You can stop right here like this if you want. I've actually got to play it like this. What I've started doing is making the arrows tighter, and like I said, for me it helps the quarterback keep from throwing this ball out of bounds. And so here in this play, 1 second, this guy's going up, he's out of the play, he's going down, catches it around this where this guy used to be. This guy's a step slow getting back to the play, and your running back either gains positive yards or he's going to score. Those are the 3 plays that I run from the shotgun formation. Now let's take a look at the wishbone formation and the passing offense. Now, this is probably the most versatile of the formations because, you don't need that many players to run this the offense from this formation. Let's say you only had one really good running back. Let's say we would put the guy here, and we would make these guys offensive linemen to help block for the quarterback. You could run it to play to this side. run it to this side, or you could run it to, say, this side. Come on, bend. He would run this way, which to make it misdirection, you'd want him to run down and this guy going out. And so this was, if you had one running back, you could still run this offense. I mean, it's this guy's running up, this guy's coming down, he's going to catch it and run. Ideally, you want 3 good running backs, or at least 2. You could also run it, of course, if you had 2 good running backs, just put one like right here. One of them good running backs here on this side. Other one down here, going to this side. Again, the tight arrows to keep the pass from going out of bounds. And then we're going to watch a game where I ran some of these plays, and you'll see how they work while they work. And you would just tell the quarterback throw it to him or either to him, whichever way the play is going to go. Okay, so those are the plays that you would run for misdirection in the wishbone. Now, let's take a look at the game that I played earlier today at about 3 o'clock. Map game. Yeah, sorry, wrong one. This was my last game. Now this guy was overmatched from the start. He only had like 6 points, but I mean, when you're playing a map game, you just play whoever's on the schedule. You don't worry about what they're ranked and stuff. Now he kicked off, so most of these plays that I ran were like 2-point conversions. And this is going to be from the pro set, one of the first things I showed you. Wide receiver's going down, this guy's going up, catches the ball, and he's gone. This guy was a step slow getting back. Of course, he didn't have good tackling stats, so he didn't have a chance anyway. During this game, you're going to see the dangers of the forward passing game. Remember that I told you some guys know how to play defense. This first pass that he gets off a decent pass. It gains a yard or 2 yards. But from that point on, he suffers whenever he tries to pass against me. Interception, touchdown. That is why you don't really want to do the forward passing game that much. I see some of you guys passing and you pass way too much. See, this is going, this is the wide receiver screen. He catches it, took a step back, and he busts through here for a score for the 2-point conversion. So you see that play works. Again, we kick it. Another interception here coming. Dangers of the forward passing game. This is from the wishbone. Intercepted. Touchdown. When you run into a player who's better than you defensively, don't try to pass the ball. You might complete one, and you're going to be tempted to do it again and again and again. It's going to backfire on you. Again, misdirection. Threw it down here. He caught it. He was a step away from making the play. Now there's going to be another important facet of the defense, and you're going to see this: the hit power. Hit power is very important for your defense. Where you hit the offensive player so hard he fumbles the football, and you're going to see that here coming up in the game. This pass was incomplete. I think this pass right here, this next play, this is where you see a strip. Score for a touchdown. Hit him, picked up the ball, and he's gone for a touchdown. That was hit power. Give your defenders maximum hit power. And the score. So heading into the third quarter, I'm ahead 32-0. I think this was an interception. I'm not sure if it, yeah, I did return it back. How about that? This game was over before half, but that kind of cemented the game right there. This is from the shotgun, Throws it to the right receiver. Actually didn't catch it, but he picked it up and he ran. Going into the third quarter, you might see another strip or two. I don't remember because I played this earlier and I don't remember all the plays. My anti-wishbone defense picked up, well, he lost yards. My anti-shotgun defense intercepted or sacked. Just overloaded the defense. More guys than they had to block with. Busting through that line. Intercepted. Score. Another misdirection play. It's going to this guy, I think. Yep. Now the only thing that's left in doubt is what the final score is going to be. Obviously I'm just going to win. Pro set. Intercepted. Touchdown. Almost felt sorry for this poor bastard. Almost. And we'll go through the 2-point conversion. This was the gut play from Wishbone. I forgot to show you, I guess. So we'll see that again. I'll freeze it. And then I'll show you how the play breaks down. Oh, darn it. Freeze it here by pausing. Come on now, pause. Okay, so the quarterback's going to take the ball. This guy would take a step backwards. These guys were going to block. This guy took a step backwards. The quarterback pitches it, and he runs forward. It's not really misdirection, but it's in the delay offense with 1 second delay, and so he takes it, and it's kind of like a draw play up the middle. I call it my gut play. Now we can play. He took a step back, pitches it, and then he runs forward, runs through the defense. They couldn't tackle him. Touchdown. Or 2-point conversion. Alright, so that's the offense in a nutshell. If you have any questions, you can, of course, ask me or Chicago, and we can explain a little bit more about how this works. While I'm here, let's go ahead and talk about Auction House. You new folks, you need to learn how to recruit. Okay? A lot of you people will look at the pretty. This is pretty. Not so pretty. This is pretty. This guy. Let's see another one in here. This is pretty. This is pretty. But they're not really. Let me show you why. The guys you want to go for, and you're like, well, gee, you bid on a guy for 44? What are you, nuts? This is why I went for him. He had a decent, not great, but he had a decent training percentage. See, I look for guys with training percentage. I don't care about stars. I want training percentage. I usually go for 170 or better. I showed this in another video and it didn't, the video didn't record. I couldn't post it. I usually go for 170 or better. If I win this guy, I'm going to kick him off my team because that's too low for me. Yeah, I'm a snob. Guys with higher training percentages are going to train faster, and I'll show you. I have a lot of guys on my team with really good training percentages. 190, that's fantastic. And so when I train for 4 hours, I'm going to have a lot of points. I haven't had this guy long, so he doesn't have that many points built up, but when I do, I'm going to give him stamina, speed, and carry. And then we'll work on the others. Let's get it to one of my wide receivers that are trained, like Sean. Stamina, speed, carry. Carry is important for your wide receivers and your running backs. To keep from fumbling the ball if they have hit power on defense. And then you need penetration. You need to be able to run through the defense, and you need to be able to juke them, and you need attack acceleration. Finally, you would need toughness, and he doesn't have maximum toughness, but well, he's kind of a middle-aged player. He should have toughness. But the wide receivers and the running backs, they have the exact same stats. Stamina, speed, carry, penetration, strength, juke, attack acceleration, and then, like I said, toughness. This guy's going to retire. Now, like I said, the wide receivers and running backs have the same stats. This guy will have a lot of their same stats, but not quite. This guy has one more stat that they don't have, if they'll ever pull up. This guy has blocking stats too. You can use your tight end as a blocker, or you can also use him as a running back. He has carry, he has penetration strength, juke, and for any of the wide receivers, this goes for wide receivers and running backs too. I don't worry about the receiving, and I don't worry about the reception range, and the reason why is because I'm not sending them forward. Remember, we're passing behind the line of scrimmage. It's a lateral pass, so you don't have to have great stats. He doesn't have anybody covering him back there, so he doesn't need maximum receiving or maximum reception range. You don't have to worry about that. Alright, now your center and offensive lineman, which is kind of stupid because, I mean, they all do the same thing. You give them these three stats: stamina, blocking, and then speed. This guy, who was a running back for me at one time, carry, penetration strength, and juke. Also attack acceleration. And even toughness. Occasionally he's a running back for me. I might do it again before the season ends because he's about to retire. Offensive lineman will have all three: stamina, blocking, speed. Now, occasionally you may run into where you would need to give an offensive lineman defensive stats. Let's say you were going to use this guy on the special teams. Then you would need to give him these three stats, of course. But then you would give him tackle. You would also give him anti-juke. You wouldn't have to worry about receiving or reception range because they're not covering a wide receiver. You don't have to worry about tackle and anti-juke. You wouldn't have to give him hit power because on the kickoffs, I've never seen anybody fumble the kickoff. Okay, let's get to the defensive stats, and this one's real easy because this covers all my defensive players. They all have these stats, the same stats. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but we'll get into why. Okay, so this is a starter. We have stamina. Stamina first for every position. I don't care what it is: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, defensive, whatever. They all get stamina first. You don't want them getting tired during the game. Then there's speed, defense, tackle, anti-juke, receiving. He can cover a wide receiver if he wants to. He's got maximum range because this is, I'm level 10. 85 is my limit. This is as much as I can go up to. So that's the maximum for me. When I go up to level 12, that'll be 95. And then the offensive stats you want to give him: hit power. This guy's going to hit his offensive counterpart. He catches the wide receiver or tight end or running back, and he's going to try to separate the ball. One thing I didn't give him, and I should have: strength. Strength will also give your defender a chance to hurt the offensive player, injure him. That's important. Better their player than your player, right? Okay, so let's cover the cornerback. Even though he's got the same stats as the safety: 85 stamina, 85 speed, tackle, anti-juke. Didn't need any of this. Receiving, because he's covering a receiver, maximum range, hit power. Covers your linebackers too. I don't have any linebackers playing on starting, but I would give him, well, he's not even at 85, is he? This is what, Sean? Yeah, he has stamina, speed. Give him tackle and anti-juke. He's not quite ready to start because he's got to build up his receiving, he's got to build up reception range, and he's got to build up hit power, 12 more points. And I just don't have enough hit points to give him right now to get where I want him to be. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the defensive line. And again, same stats: stamina, speed, tackle, anti-juke, receiving, reception range, hit power. See that? All my defenders have hit power, try to separate the ball. Now, one thing you'll see on my defense is that I have 2 kickers and a kick returner on defense. This is one of my defensive linemen here, my kicker. one of my kickers. I have several kickers. And this is cross-training, something else that I do. This guy's got defensive lineman stats. He's got stamina, speed. I don't worry about him for kicking. Tackle, anti-juke, receiving, reception range, and of course he's got hit power. In a future video, I'll show you how you can take players and put them in any position you want them to and do whatever it is you want them to do. Now, if you wanted to do it the game's way and change their post, turn him into a defensive lineman, you'd have to spend 9 gold pieces. And I'm not about to do that. Change him to any position and pay. Well, I get him to do what it is I want him to do, and you don't pay jack. Free. Freedom! Okay, and finally, the kick returners. These guys are important too. A lot of people forget that you need to give them tackling stats too. Stamina, speed, you give them tackle, anti-juke, kick return range. Now this guy, I'm going to put him on defense. He might already be on defense. I need to give him maximum reception range. I think he's got hit power already. So he needs to improve this a little more. But it's the end of the season, so I'm going to wait till next season to start building his reception range stats up a little more. He can cover a wide receiver or running back in short range. And that's about it. We've covered offensive plays. We covered who to go for and what to look for, rather, in the auction house. One thing I want to stress, I like driving up the price on these guys, but you don't want to build so high that you're going to win this guy. This guy, not all that. He's decent. He's not great. Like if I were going to bid on somebody, like this guy right here, I was going to bid on him, which I wouldn't because his training is 61. I'd bet like start off at 1 point, maybe raise it up to 12, right? And the first time they'll bid, they might try to overbid you by 1. I don't want to spend that much. So it might get bid up to 2 points, 3 points, whatever. Don't spend an ungodly amount if you can help it. This guy's spending 1,296 recruiting points on an average player. Now, for you guys who have Android tablets, Android phones like I do, I play this on my Android tablet or my phone or my TV box. At night, you can come in here to the recruiting house and there'll be a button here, a little green button, watch 6 videos, and you get as many recruiting points as you would for a 24-hour period. So I bought some recruiting points earlier, like once, and I watched a bunch of videos and stuff. I've had this team for a while. I didn't really start doing anything with it till like level 6, and then I got active with it again, so it built up some recruiting points. That's all we have time for in this particular video. I've recorded this thing like 6 or 7 times, and I've always forgot to do, there's like one thing I always forgot to do, and of course it wouldn't record the audio, so yeah, I kind of screwed up. We're going to post this, remember, we're going to post this to our own YouTube channel. Unlike before, you can go to my old videos, just go to YouTube and look for Glenn Condrey, C-O-N-D-R-E-Y, or we're going to post this to our own channel, the Dynasty.Reborn. And that's what you would look for in YouTube, the.Dynasty.Reborn, because Dynasty Reborn was apparently taken. Anyway, we're going to post our videos to that YouTube channel. Look for them. This is where this video is going to go to. A little bit later here, I'm going to try to create a Facebook page, see if I can upload this to the Facebook page for those of you who may want to look at, just go to Facebook. I mean, for me, everyone has YouTube, has a cell phone or something with YouTube on it, or a tablet or something, or a computer where it's easy enough to go to YouTube. That's why I prefer YouTube as opposed to posting it to a Facebook page. But anyway, that's all we have time for now. I'm Glenn. We'll see you again in the very next video. See you later.